Welcome to TTV News with some latest event in TayNinhTV Province. The audience, since October 2021, the National Assembly delegation of TayNinhTV Province had meetings with voters ahead the second section and recorded 114 recommendations. 16 of them are under the authority of the Provincial People Committee, and the committee's response report is evaluated as focusing on the right contents of the proposals.
Notably, voters recommended the Provincial People's Committee to direct the presiding unit to advise and promulgate regulations on coordination among relevant units, creating favorable conditions for the effective implementation of the Investment Promotion, Trade and Tourism Program. The Provincial People's Committee said it had directed the Department of Home Affairs to develop a coordination status for the province investment promotion, trade and tourism in the 2021-2025 period, according to regulations. The actual contents that arise but haven't been regulated will be considered fully supplemented and advised to overcome limitations. For the proposal on stimulating the time for periodic inspection at tourist service establishments, to avoid the situation that business establishments are inspected several times a year, making it difficult for them to do business, the Provincial People's Committee responded to voters as follows. In the coming time, the committee will continue to direct the chairman of the People's Committees of District, Towns and City, as well as heads of departments, to correct the inspection and examination of enterprises in accordance with the Directive number 20 of the Prime Minister. According to this directive, inspections should be carried out in accordance with the approved inspection plan and orientation. The inspection contents must be within the assigned state management scope. The functional agencies proactively inspect, evaluate, and adjust the implementation plan when necessary, without increasing the number of inspections, and the issuance of inspection conclusions must comply with regulations.
TayNinhTV Department of Science and Technology on May 23rd coordinated with the Vietnam Standard and Quality Institute under the Directorate for Standards, Metrologies and Qualities of Vietnam to organize a professional training course on the National Quality Award.
The course lasts 3 days starting from May 23rd. Mr. Phạm Hữu Các, an expert on National Quality Award, shared 3 topics including an overview of the National Quality Award, training operators, as well as guiding organizations and businesses to prepare reports according to 7 criteria for awarding the National Quality Award. When participating in the National Quality Award, enterprises will review their production and business process. Since then, they will determine their strengths and weaknesses to improve and operate better. Especially when winning the National Quality Award, businesses can put the logo on their products for promotion. Recently, TayNinhTV Science and Technology Center has cooperated with Cần Thơ University to carry out the project Experimental Planting of Cilatrus High C in TayNinhTV Province as a source of medicinal herbs in the direction of supporting the treatment of liver disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. It's aimed at acclimatizing the plant from Hoa Thanh Province. The center has propagated the plants to growth in ecological and soil conditions in TayNinhTV Province to identify the main groups of substance in the leaves of the plant, and to evaluate the biological activities of the extract of the leaf of the plant in the direction of protecting the liver, lowering blood glucose and blood lipids. It has also conducted research and testing of products from the extract of the custard apple peel and seeds, such as moisturizing cream, vegetable washing solution, research on extracting custard apple leaf powder for agricultural purposes, and fermented custard apple juice. In addition to research and application of advances in science and technology, the unit also deploys science and technology service activities for production and business in the province, such as since 2021, the unit has verified 7,703 measuring instruments, calibrated 41 measuring instruments, testing 61 water samples and performed 316 science and technology service contracts.
Turn to other news. Over the last time, the Youth Union and the Vietnam Youth Federation of Hoa Thanh have been supporting and orienting young people to start their business associated with green and high-tech agriculture.
One of the activities maintained by the Youth Union and the Vietnam Youth Federation of Hoa Thanh in recent years is the program Hoa Thanh Youth with Green Agriculture. The units regularly organize visits for union members and young people to learn about agricultural production techniques and typical agricultural models in the town, such as transferring techniques of growing apple trees and grapevine according to clean agricultural standards, visit Ngọc Điểm orchid growing model, and learn the model growing clean fruit trees associated with environmental protection for high economic efficiency, etc. The activities have contributed to orientation, providing more information, knowledge, and experience in the process of starting a business for union members' young people, since then helping them to be bolder and more confident in starting their business and getting rid right from agriculture in our homeland. To kick off activities to celebrate the International Children's Day on the 1st of June, the social work office of Hồng Hưng General Hospital, in collaboration with the Youth Union of the Ninh Public Security Department's Women Union and Hai Saigon Hair Salon, visited and gave gifts to the orphans and lonely elderly people at May Ngan Orphanage, based in Cam Phong Pagoda, Cô Dao District, on May 22nd. The delegation clearly asked about the health and life of the orphans and lonely elderly people and organized recreational activities for the children, had their hair cut and repaired lunch for them. Here, representatives of Hồng Hưng General Hospital also gave 220 gifts with the total cost of 40 million Vietnam dong. May Ngan Orphanage is currently maintaining and caring for more than 200 orphans, disabled people, lonely elderly people, disadvantaged and homeless people.
The audience, ahead of the third session of the 15th National Assembly, the National Assembly Deputy of Tây Ninh Province had many meetings with voters, including representatives of businesses operating in Tây Ninh Province. One of the contents they recommended is to speed up the review and implementation of decentralization in state management, according to the government resolution number 04 issued on January 10, 2022.
The National Assembly delegation of the Ninh Province had a number of meetings with voters who are businesses in and outside the industrial park. The voters said that businesses are in the process of recovering strongly after the COVID-19 pandemic, but the procedures for granting permits, especially investment and construction permits, are quite difficult. This is a big barrier, especially for foreign investors. Businesses recommended that it's necessary to decentralize more strongly for local authority.
Our businesses want to invest quickly, build quickly and get early permits, but currently we have to go to Hanoi to apply for a construction permit, and that would take too much time and money and wait for too long. Our company is having the same problem. I hope the National Assembly deputies will consider the proposal.
Businesses recommended that it's necessary to decentralize more strongly for local authority. According to the current law on environmental protection, we have to go to the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment to apply for a permit for the project. It takes a lot of time, more than 1 year, to get an environmental impact assessment or DTM. I hope the National Assembly deputies of the province will propose to re-decentralize the Department of National Resources and Environment to avoid trouble for our factory. The National Assembly deputies take note of the voters' recommendations and share the information with them. Over the last time, many localities have witnessed a large number of serious environmental violations, attracting public attention. So, the National Assembly revised the law on environmental protection to be stricter. including lessening requirements, delegations will have recommendations to remove difficulties for businesses.
I accept these opinions and will recommend it to the ministry and branches. Once the law is approved and get enforced, it is very difficult to change it. Now the only way is to reform the receiving and evaluation to quickly return the results. It's too long when it takes a year to get an investment certificate. This is not the way to attract investors.
Not only the industrial production sector, many investors in the agricultural field are also facing similar difficulties.
Many businesses and investors are constantly looking for opportunities to invest in pig and poultry farms. Previously, we had a different mechanism, but now projects have been restricted. Farms with several thousand animals have to go to the center government to apply for permits, forcing people to circumvent the law by tearing up the project.
At the meetings with voters, a number of businesses and the Department of Industry and Trade proposed the National Assembly to have a mechanism to increase authority for localities.
Our delegation will discuss more closely to raise the issue with the National Assembly. If widening the power of the authority for the locality, that is very effective, promoting the motivation for development. Why not regulate the synchronous increase of authorities for localities in the whole country, but specific regulation for each locality to create an asking and giving mechanism? We will study these issues carefully to make recommendations and discuss in the near future.
To remove difficulties for businesses while ensuring the implementation of laws as well as promoting effective decentralization, the deputies will submit comments to ministries and branches and discussions of the National Assembly. The national delegation of the province will notify voters as soon as possible after the ministries and branches give explanations.
That's all for today TTV News. Thanks for watching and see you next time.